Hi everyone. I hope you're well. Um, I wanted to do a couple of videos, and again, I haven't been able to do any videos for about a year. I've just been really unwell, and I wanted to do some catch-up videos and get back to doing videos that I used to do, like EDC review videos and stuff. So, um, but every time I try to do the videos, something either comes up or I get unwell on something, and none of my videos are ever going to be professional. One of the comments I always get by everyone is, "Oh my God, your videos are so unprofessional, and you talk too much." Remember, I just do these videos just for my voice, and just to share stuff with you from my perspective, from a lot of stuff that I have learned as an engineer, as a person who's always out in the field. Um, I'm always learning skills from the people I work with. So I love doing these videos. Thanks, bro. The reason I did these because my brother said just do these videos because of my voice issues. So um, yeah, I wanted to get back into doing videos. So I do this video as a catch up video of what's been going on and stuff. And also come back to the original task of the video as well. So, um, yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I know the world's a total mess, and I know people's lives change and get bad and stuff. And I hope your lives are actually getting better from the last time I spoke with you about a year ago. Um, Unfortunately, about 7 weeks ago, I had a heart attack. And then I had a second one inside the hospital. And then I had to have heart surgery. So I'm still sort of recovering from that. I'm extremely, extremely weak. And I'm just absolutely dying to get out and do stuff, but I can't even walk around that much. But it's Sunday today. It's Saturday today. It's the trying to show me on my watch. It's Saturday the 25th of April, 2026, and it is 12:38, I think. Yeah, 12:38 British summertime. And actually, as you can see from the light, it's actually natural light. We have a clear sky outside. It's beautiful weather. It's a beautiful Saturday. So I thought I'll try and sit down and do something that I like, and which is like making these videos. Um, so enough rambling. I know I had to ramble because I wanted to annoy some people, because these videos are just to share stuff with you as a friend, not as a professional videographer or anything of that category. So yeah, I want to show you. I always wear gloves, and I always get ridiculed for gloves because I have very bad marks. I'm actually going to try and show you them. um it probably won't focus now. You can probably see like these marks. These are all IV marks, um from different IV infusions and surgeries that I have. And funnily enough, I'll just take my yacht master off. I just take the watch off, which I trying to take off this hand. The only the funny thing is that luckily I got saved by the doctors, by the nurses. They originally, when I went into surgery for heart surgery, they said we might have to do open heart surgery. And at that time I actually started panicking. I wasn't even panicking during the heart attack. Um, but the surgeon was so good. She just came up to me and she said, "Listen, we can do anything we need to do to save your life because we can. So don't worry about it. We will do what we need to do." And I was just like, okay, I'm in good hands. Eventually, they didn't need to do open heart surgery. They just had to go up my arm. Um, yeah, they went up my arm, and then they went in and they put some balloon and medicine, and they cleared up everything and stuff. But yeah, the only scar I have left from my heart surgery is literally that there. They said to me, "Oh, we might either go up the groin or up the arm," and I thought, "Oh God." And as soon as they went in, it was a really cool surgeon, and he goes, "Hi," and he just grabbed my arm and he goes, "Right, I'm gonna go up your arm, and we'll see what we'll see, and don't worry about anything. Whatever I need to do, I will do because I can." He was just so confident, and I was like, okay, I'm in good hands right now. But yeah, thank you very, very much to all the surgeons. I actually know their names. I wrote them down. And eventually, when I get back to the hospital next week, because I'm quite really ill, I'm rambling, sorry, but someone will find it comforting. When I get back to the hospital, I am actually going to take some presents in for them. I've actually ordered some Leatherman Raptors with their names on them. So I'm just waiting for Leatherman to deliver them to me. And I'm actually gonna, when I get back to the hospital next week, I have to go every other week for checkups because I'm quite really ill, weak. So I'll take them in for me. Right, rambling, I know. Right, this video is about an everyday carry first aid kit. Now, I think, and I am very adamant on that everyone should carry this. There's a lot of people that I'm going to ramble again. Sorry, people are not looking after themselves at all. They always expect somebody else or you to be able to look after them and yourself, but nobody wants to take any responsibility. I think everyone should have a miniature first aid kit with them at all times. Now, this should be kept with you in your jacket wherever you go, whether you go out to a nightclub or whether you go out to a concert or whether you are in a CEO meeting or whether you are yourself a doctor or whether you are out on the farm or whether you are out doing car maintenance. This should be with you at all times. Now, you can make a far better one, and I know our American cousins over the pond call it a boo-boo kit. I really hate that, because if you leave even a small cut untreated and that becomes infected in the field, it's not going to be a boo-boo. You're going to end up needing my sister, who's an emergency trauma surgeon, and you don't want to go to her. Trust me. She's unemotional to a fault. She's like, we grew up on house. And that's what she wanted to be. She wanted to be a trauma surgeon, but she wanted to be like house, like, don't care. You do not want to end up with her, okay? She's actually downstairs now. She'll probably kill me by the time this video finishes. So if you don't hear from me again, she's killed me. I'm only joking. But yeah, any small cut or any small incident you want to take care of straight away, okay? So this is what I carry. Now, there are a couple of additional things that I have in my... I carry this on the left side of my jacket pocket every day. And I know I carry a lot of stuff, but I always carry this with me. And this has been so very useful. Now, night before last, I actually had to use this. I burnt myself. You might be able to see just a small black dot there with some scaling there. It was just in the kitchen. I was pulling out the grill. I was warming up some garlic bread, and I burnt myself. It's incidental. I mean, for you guys who'll probably laugh, but for me, because I have sensory neuropathy, that black mark is the only thing, and those two little dents there are the burn mark. For me, it was hell on earth. It was probably harder than my heart attack because the pain was so intense. So I just quickly ran to my jacket, grabbed this, and there was a burn shield in there, which I brought here because I used it. Just wanted to show you because it's just so convenient to have these things with you. So I have a replacement now because I used that one. So coming back to this. This is so very convenient because you just don't know, and you don't need to carry a bigger life preserve kit. I have one of them. I have a big military IFAK in the back, in the bottom of my everyday carry bag. I have to carry that because of the work I do, but I have that. But this is immediate hand use, and I think everyone should have that. So what's in here? First of all, this is for everyday use, looking after yourself, looking after your best friend, looking after the person next to you. It's not always about you. Rambling, I know, but I need to explain because I feel a lot of videos, they just show items of kit or they promote items of kit and they say do this, but they don't give you an idea of why you need to carry it. And I, as an engineer, like explaining things as to why I carry. So a lot of times in my videos, I'm not rambling. I'm trying to get a point across that it might help someone as to why I'm carrying that. Okay, so a couple of things in here. Why do I carry them? And I'll go through them. So, and again, this is for every day to look after yourself or the person next to you. Again, it's not always about you. So these wallets, for those of you who are in the UK, the stationery shop called Ryman, these are A6 popper wallets. P-O-P-E-R or P-O-P-P-E-R. A6 is the size of the paper, like an A4 folded 4 times. So A6, and it's the popper wallet. So you can get these. These are so convenient for so many items of kit. You can get your passports in there. You can keep first aid kits in there, small tool kits in there, data kits in there, USB kits. So these are absolutely great. I'm sure you could probably, for people in America or other countries, you could probably get them off Amazon or something. But for those of you in the UK, go to Ryman's instead and get these. Much easier. So I carry these, okay? So first, what do I carry? Shout wipe to go. These are aftermath of something. So for example, if you get a small cut and you get blood on your shirt, or you're in a meeting, you can administer the blood, you can clean up the blood, and you can bandage it. And then just, if you are wearing a shirt or a dress or something, you could take the blood off, okay? Or any item of dirt. So these are just to look after yourself. So these are shout, wipe and go clean wipes, and they're brilliant. So just two of them take up hardly any room. Cosmopore E bandages. I like these over other normal bandages because I get them a lot at hospitals. So I buy boxes of these from the medical supplier. In the UK, there's a medical supply called Medisave. 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 Not a promotion. It's just where I get my stuff from. And it'll become evident later on as to why I get my stuff from there. Well, I'll explain it. Because you can buy one item. You don't have to buy a box of them. I buy a box of these because they're so useful in the house. But the other items I will show you in a minute, I buy one instead of buying hundreds of them, or 20 or 30 packs. So you can tailor and select what you need to your need, or to your the amount of money you want to spend, etc, etc. So, but these are so useful. So these are I'm trying to find the size. It's the 7.2 centimeter by 5. These are absolutely brilliant because this one is the plastic version of this, but it's waterproof. But for me, because of my skin, the plastic version gives me a rash. I hate that. I think it's because there might be some latex in there. I don't know, but anything plastic. When I was in hospital, as you can see, the scars there, the red scars from all the IV, from the blood taking. What they would do is they put a cotton swab on afterwards, and they put plastic tape on, and I'd immediately take it off because it'd give me a rash. So for me, and I'm sure there's other patients out there who get rashes from plastic micropore tape. I don't know what's wrong with having normal micropore tape, but in UK hospitals now they've gotten rid of that and they use the plastic micropore tape, which I absolutely hate. So I actually carry my own plasters. When I was in hospital getting my blood tests done, because I bleed quite, I would actually take these out and put them on myself because they didn't have these anymore. They have the modern plastic versions of them. So I buy these are they're not plastic, they're like woven material, like cotton type material, not cotton type material. They'll probably say it on here. Absorbent dressing. It's just a normal woven type. So they don't give you a rash. Well, don't give me a rash. So 4 of these, I carry 4 of these. Again, if you're helping someone, you've got enough there for normal stuff. Okay. Waterproof. Again, if you're in the field, normal people like you, if you unfortunately get a cut, I hope you don't, but if you do, this will be helpful for you. I'm just weird. I have weird skin, so I prefer carrying these, but this is the waterproof version of this. And obviously, again, in the field, it'll keep you dry and it'll keep your wound dry. So I carry 1 of them if I have to help anybody else. Sterile gauze. Again, really, really convenient just to clean up stuff. Cleaning up stuff. Hand wipes. Again, if you get any type of cut, you can quickly dry it out and you can clean away the blood, etc. So I just carry 2 of these, and I get boxes of these. I use them every day for stuff, and because I have to take injections and stuff, I use them all the time. So I have 2 of them in here. Earplugs. Again, in hospital, I like having earplugs with me. I'm really sensitive to noise, but if you're out in the field, etc. And it's one of the things that you might often forget, earplugs. But having a set of earplugs in your quick access first aid kit, for those of you who work with machinery or anything, etc., you have to have earplugs. You have to look after your ears, right? So having a backup set in your quick access emergency kit, which you have in your pocket at all times, even if you're from the time you go to work or time you go home and you go to a party, always have the quick access first aid kit in your pocket, and your jacket must never be about a meter away from you. Always keep your jacket with you, whether you're in a hotel or whether you're at home or whether you're in the car or whether you're taking your husband or your wife or your children out to a party or to a restaurant. Have your jacket at least no more than a meter away from you, so you quickly grab it and go and take people to safety, and this will be with you. So these are super good. Finally, I wanted to have some sort of cutting device in here. Now, you can obviously put a Swiss Army knife classic in here, but the reason, hear me out, the reason I didn't, I actually used to have one in here, but I switched to a simple Spyderco in here. The reason being is, even though this is more expensive than a Swiss Army knife, I think I prefer this. The reason is because it's just a simple blade to cut away clothing, to get that stuff. Sometimes your hands might be trembling. My hand internally, you can't see it obviously, but I'll show you. This is my hand closed. This is natural. You can see this hand closes properly like yours would do. A bit of resistance there because both of my hands are internally damaged. But if I do this, that hand is closed. So I have internal neurological and muscular damages. Forget all about that. But if you get hypothermia, this is how your hand will close. Your hands will shake and it won't close properly. And I've had hypothermia very badly twice. So sometimes you might not be able to get your fingers into a pair of scissors or even the Raptors. Trust me. And I know a lot of people will say, I've been a Surgeon General for 68 years and I can always, even with advanced hypothermia in the middle of the sea whilst doing Navy SEAL submarine dive operations, can still access Raptors. Whatever, cool. I've had it and there was no way. So having a small pair of let me correct. Yeah, so having a it's much easier to have a small blade with you, okay? So, but the other reason is, if you get blood on this, you can just throw it away. You can bin it. With a Swiss Army knife, I feel, and I might be illogical in this, and you might correct me, there's too many tools in the Swiss Army knife to throw it away, because you get scissors, you get a knife blade, you get tweezers. You can double out on the tweezers as well. So usually with the classic, you get a pair of tweezers and a pair of the toothpick, but you can remove the toothpick and put an extra pair of tweezers in there. So you've got 2 tweezers with you at all times. I think that's too many tools, even though in the UK, I think this is £32 or £30 for this. The classic is about £18 to £20. So £10 is a lot of money, you know, but I feel I'm only throwing, for me, I'm thinking of what I'm throwing away, but with this, I'm only throwing away the blade. With the Swiss Army knife, I forgot the kit. But again, you make your own choice. But a simple pocket thing like that, okay? Now, hypothermia and your hands not working is a more of an extremer thing. Yes, of course, even with hypothermia, you can use Raptors, but the Raptors won't fit in here. So this is, I'm trying to reduce the bulkiness of the kit. That's why I opted for this, or the Swiss Army knife classic. So I'm trying to make you carry it, because if it's more bulky, if it's a bigger pair of Raptors and a big cat tourniquet and a big emergency dressing, you're not going to walk around with that every day. I mean, people like me do, but you might not. So I'm trying to persuade you to carry a quick access first aid kit that you will carry. Okay, you can carry this in your handbag. You can carry this down your skirt pocket. You can probably carry this in the back of your jeans for most of you. It's probably smaller than most of the iPhones, to be honest, when totally packed up. It's probably probably now they're quite big. So, you know, I'm trying to promote you to carry it, and I'm also giving you the reason why you carry it. You might be with your child, you might be with your husband, you might be with your wife, you might be with your best friend. Something happens, you can quickly take care of it. Okay, so this is what the nurses use, and you can buy rolls of these. You can buy a single roll. This is like what they use to tourniquet your arm here, so when they take blood from you. So that is actually perfect if you need to do an emergency tourniquet. Okay, so instead of carrying a big cat tourniquet, now I'm not looking for, this is a quick access emergency kit. Obviously, there are situations where you will need the tourniquet, but if you need to do a quick blood stop for any reason or anything, just as an emergency quick access, you know, most people will use a belt, etc. But if you need to do anything, a small reduction of blood or something, this could be useful, and I tend to carry this in here. So that is the fine. That's the what I carry in here. There is another thing that I carry in here is a smaller burn shield. So this is I need to refill it. That's why. Because as I showed you earlier, so this is a 3.5 milliliter, or for you Americans, it's an eighth of an ounce. So this is just a small single sachet of burn, and this works. Trust me, I was screaming like a newborn baby with just that little scoundrel of a burn, and that saved me. Trust me. So what I did was I cut a small hole in here, and I'd put a few drops every few minutes. I'd put a few drops, and that really saved me from getting a bigger scar or it becoming worse. So that was really good. Of course, if there's a bigger burn, you'll need more items, etc. But again, quick access. Okay, so there are other items that I'm going to show you that you might fancy carrying in here. First of all, obviously I need to replace them, but you might also like having a pair of gloves in here. Obvious reasons. If you're administering quick first aid to someone else, you might want to wear a pair of gloves just to make sure you don't get their blood on you. Obvious reasons, okay? Now, I carry light sticks in here. Multiple reasons for carrying light sticks. These are green light sticks. Eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to change them to white light sticks. Why? Because it's white light. The other reason is that I've been doing some engineering work when I was before the heart attack, and I was just messing around with my kit, and now these are latex gloves. The purple ones are non-latex gloves. For medical use, you want non-latex gloves. Again, some people have a latex allergy. You might not know that. So you always must carry non-latex gloves. These are latex gloves. I don't have any non-latex white gloves. I need to get some. But as an example, when doing engineering stuff, sometimes we technically wear orange ones, but underneath we also wear white ones. We double glove. So if there's a leak or anything, or if we cut, we can always double check that something has flowed in. So what I've been doing actually, when I've been accessing sports and dark corners, what I've been doing is I've been putting a light in. So if I put this on my, it's going to be a bit difficult with that, but imagine that I put this on my hand. Yes, I've got a head torch on, or yes, I've got a flashlight, etc. What I've been actually doing is I had a couple of white ones, but I ran out of them. But the greens work as well, but the white ones are obviously better. I put one of these light sticks into this finger, so it appears on the inside of here. So imagine, it's going to be a bit difficult for me to put the glove on because my hand's a bit damaged at the moment. It's still sore. But imagine my hand is inside the glove. So now you'll just see that, and then you'll see the light stick here. Now once that light stick is on, you've got your hand immediately glows. So what you can actually do is you can walk around like Jedi or something, and you will have light coming out of your hand. So if you need to access anything, say if you're doing car maintenance or something, or if you're working on a helicopter or an aircraft or a yacht like I do, yes, you've got you've got a head torch. You probably have a head torch on, but you can actually just get in. You can get light into those weird corners where you need to grab something. So you'll always have light on this finger. So you got your three main fingers to grab something, and then you've immediately got access light in there. You could probably move your finger far easier than I can, but you get the idea. So for medical reasons, get the non-latex ones in white. For normal engineering stuff or other stuff, because it's not always a medical situation, but having stuff with you helps. That's the idea I've been using. So another thing that I used when I had my burns afterwards, a single tissue in here, lifesaver. One thing I carry on the outside of that, and I'll give you examples as to why I'm doing this. And trust me, it's 24 minutes into this video now, and a lot of people will say you could have done this in 4 minutes, and we don't want to hear the stuff. I understand that, but I need to give people examples because not everyone is an expert in everyday carry. Not everyone is ex-Navy SEALs. Not everyone is ex-military. Not everyone is an ex-doctor. Not everyone is a doctor. Not everyone is that far advanced with 20, 50 years, 60 years of being out in the field. That's why I give all these examples. And that's why, and yeah. So one thing I carry on the outside of that is a calico triangular bandage. Now, again, not a promotion for it. The reason I used this brand is because it was the most cost effective, but also it gave the biggest size bandage. And the only downside with this is that this brand doesn't give you a safety pin, so you have to carry 2 safety pins with you. But that's okay. Don't even need safety pins. You can tie it up with your hands. So for me, I always have this. Now, why do I have this on the outside? Because it's, first of all, it's sterile. It's not sterile, but yeah, it's clean, right? Emergency first aid. I'm not gonna go into that explanation, but there's 1,001 uses for this, from everyday carry. So if you get a quick bleed, you can just rip this open, stick it there, stop the bleed, right? That's it. That's all you need to do. Excuse me. Oh, after my heart attack, my sinuses are really bad. I keep getting a blocked nose. I have no idea why. Neither do the doctors. So I keep getting a blocked nose all the time, and it's so irritating. So pardon me if I have to go and clean my nose. So yeah, and you can use these for if you're traveling with a child. Any parent will know. I'm sorry, yeah, fathers travel with their children too. So any parent will know that you could probably use this as an emergency nappy. I'm not a parent, but I'm sure you could fashion an emergency nappy with that. It's big enough. Okay, it's like 1 meter 30 centimeters by 92 centimeters. So you could fashion an emergency nappy with that. You could fashion a dirt mask to protect your eyes, to protect your nose and your face with. Okay, you can do a lot of things with that. So I carry this on the outside, and again, I'm trying to reduce the size bulk of it, so to promote you to carry it. Okay, and give you reasons as to why you should carry it, because it's not always about you, and you can also help somebody else. So as an example, I always have that on the outside of the popper wallet. Now I'm going to move on, and the reason I brought this out is very key, because I want you to have this with you 24 hours a day, including when you go abroad to holidays. Obviously, unfortunately, there are people at airports who will not allow you to carry this because you might do something naughty, because they're scared that even though they know even your bank account details, to the day you were born, to your social media account history, to everything since they check before you board an aircraft, even you might be so very naughty that you might do something rather naughty with this. So obviously, to stop you being an evil tyrant, you have to take this out, otherwise you'll get spanked. Okay, so to take this out, so what items can you carry that certain people will not call you a naughty person? Well, I work in aviation, and I am an air accident investigator. I know all the airport rules, so even though they'll tell you that they know them all, I'm the one who writes them, right? So what can you carry? Well, 99% of the time, if they're not being special, I'll show you what you can carry. Here are 2 things you can carry with you at all times, even through an airport. But you will always get that one, might be that unlucky person where you get, oh my god, you got a pair of scissors, you must be an Interpol criminal. Okay, you're not. Okay, you can carry scissors with you at an airport. You can carry scissors as long as both, if these are scissors, one of the cutting must both of the cutting must not be sharp. So both of them must not be like that. Only one can be like that. Okay, so the other is the dull end, because then it makes the main scissor a dull, so you can't use it as a puncture device. Okay, so you can carry these hook point suture scissors. Now I actually carry them in there because they fit in there. So, as you can see, they fit in there. These I've taken through airports. I've had no problems with them. I've been lucky, and you can probably tell that they love profiling people like me. until they see my ID card, and then they start apologizing. But you know, whatever. These you can carry, but you might get someone who is working to their own specifications, and they might classify you as evil, and they might take this off you. Now, the worst is going to happen is they're going to say you can't take this on board. They'll bin it. Okay. The only thing you've lost is about £1.15 or £1 something. It's unfortunate, but you've lost £1, but you haven't lost a Swiss Army knife or something like this, which is a lot more. Okay. So if they take them off you, you've lost £1. You could also carry a spare one of these in your suitcase. Okay, there we are. So the reason I like these because they're also used on the ISS because they have a hook point. I'm going to open them up and show you. So they don't really need to be sterile because I'm not doing anything sterile with them. I'm not doing a surgical operation. So these are the reasons I was mentioning the company MediSave before, because you can buy one of them. The unit cost of this single is £1. I think I paid £1.10. I had a discount code that I have as an air accident investigator because we get all our stuff from them. But without the code, I think it's £1.10. So I think it was like I got like 10p or 20p off or something. I can't remember. But I get a big bulk of them. I usually get like 10, 20 of them because I use them for different stuff. But if you wanted to buy just one and you don't have a discount code, etc., it's £1.10, right? So there we are. Now, I'm just going to open these up for you. I really like them in daily uses as well. So these are, as I was saying, one side is dull, so you can't really use it as a poker. Now you can see that on the other end they have like this cutting here. So these are for suture cutting. So what they're supposed to be able to do is you're supposed to be able to just get into a suture and cut. The reason they're used on the International Space Station is as well because they have all their things are vacuum packed. And they need, so instead of using pokey knives or even pokey scissors, they can just use that hook, push it in, and then they can safely cut away. That makes these scissors perfect for everyday carry. And yes, as far as I know, you can carry them on an aircraft. I have done. Nobody has ever stopped me. Apologize for that. Just let that run. I can't do anything about that. So these you could absolutely carry. So I carry them in there. It's easier to carry them in the sleeve. Yes, single use, but I'm not doing anything surgical with them. But if I do get somebody else's blood on them, or if I get my own blood on them, I can throw them away. Lost nothing. Okay. Again, you will have to throw away stuff with blood on them, obvious reasons. So I do carry them in there. But again, if it's just for general medical tasks, for cutting bandages or for cutting anything, these are absolutely perfect. So these are, and I'll just hold up the name of them again. And these are the suture scissors, 11.5 centimeter hook point. That's the code. That's the company that makes them. And MediSave is the company that I buy them from. I'm sure you can buy them from other companies, but I've been, even before I had the discount code, when I was just student, I used to buy medical stuff because I've been ill for a long time, so I buy first aid stuff from them all the time, and I paid full money. So yeah, that's going back in there because I used it. The second item is Kilner needle holder, Intrapack Kilner needle holder. So these are just like little pliers, and again, yes, you could take them on board. There's no blade on them. I'm going to open up and show you them. Again, if somebody's acting very, very strange against you, if they've just decided they don't like you and they don't like anything that you might have with you, and they're going to take anything away from you. Again, these are about the same price, I think £1 something. So if they take these away from you, you've probably only lost £2 instead of using a Leatherman or a Gerber, etc., obviously, right? So I'm going to show you them. I'll just show you the name and the sizes again, just so you know, so you can see them. Okay. And again, I'm not a surgeon. These are just for general first aid. And again, if you do get blood on them, you can throw them away. You've only lost £1 or £2, but you've helped someone, right? Again, the reason I'm mentioning money is because kit and buying anything for some people, for many people, can sound daunting. Do I really need to invest all of that money? How much is all this going to cost me? Because a lot of people I see on the videos, I'm not rambling, trust me, I need to say this. A lot of people, oh, this is the latest flashlight, or this is the latest multi-tool, or this is the latest item of first aid kit, or this is the latest bag. And dude, you need to buy this. Forget about the one you had before. Don't worry about the price. And then in the end they say, oh, well, this company did send this to me free of charge, and then I can do a review of it. Well, okay, but when I go up and look at the price of that item, so that company just sent you £120 or £180 or £300 something bag or a torch or a knife free, but everyone's not going to get that. Some people don't have that kind of money to invest. So when I do all these kit reviews, the reason I mention the prices and the reasons I give, I'm saying, look, this doesn't cost much. You can put all of this together for about I'm just adding up the values in my head, about £10. But with that £10 you get a full box of these, and I'm including a full box of these in the price. So a box of 100 of these, 100 of these, yeah, 100 of these I think was about £5 something. A box of 100 of these was about £6 something. This was £1.10 something. Yeah, and the scissors were £1.10. This was about £1.25 or something like that. That one was about £1.50. I bought them a long time ago. I bought like 10 of them. No discount code or anything. So you could probably £12 you can put one, and you can make, from the stuff you buy, you can make multiple kits. Okay, so that's why I was explaining why. So coming back to these, so here we are. So these are slightly curved. They're not damaged. They're supposed to be curved because they are needle holders. So it gives you that ability, that stability. Again, I've taken them on board. I'm 100% sure that you can take them on board because I've taken them on board and I work at airports. There's nothing stabby, there's nothing pokey. There's just simply, if somebody asks, all you need to say is that they're bandage scissors to remove plasters and to help you put plasters on, and to use for wipes if there's blood. So you can, you can rip this open, pull this out with a wipe, and you rub the wipe so you don't get any blood on your hand. That's all they're for. That if somebody asks for an explanation, that's all they're for, right? So that's what they're for, and you can carry them. Again, they will fit in there really neatly. There you go. They fit, I'm just showing you. Okay, so they fit in there, and the back of that, they fit in there. So I usually carry them like that, so they fit in there with that stuff, and that pretty much will help you do stuff. Now, two final things that I'm going to add. Again, other than that, I don't want it to be too bulky, but I will add stuff to show you. I don't mind the bulk, but I want to make sure that you understand and you make your own decisions. 10ml vials. If you need to carry any medicine with you, say like an emergency pain medicine or an emergency heart medicine or an emergency medicine for whatever reason, it can be difficult sometimes in an emergency to get them out of the pack. I would recommend you make your own decision, but I tend to carry paracetamol or certain other medicine in 2 of these vials, and I have them labeled. One is for paracetamol and the other is for my emergency heart medicine. I carry a dose of that. I've always carried a dose in there. The reason is sometimes I struggle to get them out of that stupid blister pack, and then when I get them out, they just go everywhere. If it's an emergency, I'm usually in a panic and I want to get that stuff down my throat, so I have them in there. These are super good because all you can do is just go like that, throw that away, get them out, throw them in you, right? So if you are unfortunately inclined, or if you need to carry one dose of an emergency medicine, a 10ml vial, super good. I prefer the 12ml vials, but they're a bit difficult to get hold of. I don't know why, but 10ml vials will do. Final thing, again, one thing that you can carry on board an aircraft, but you don't have to, but I'm showing you, is this. It's called a Ramley sponge holder. Again, I got this from the same company, MediSave. It was about £1 something or something like that. And I'm not going to open this one up because I already have one opened up. I don't often carry that, but I carry this with me. Not for first aid kit, but I carry them for just some stuff. Because, again, like I showed you, my hand doesn't close. So for me, this actually acts as my mechanical hand sometimes, quite a lot of the times. That's why I have a couple of them, and I have this always done. I have this on my right side of my jacket where I keep my survival kit, my toolkit, my Leatherman, my Gerber, my Swiss Army knife, my pins, my what are they called, safety pins, tape, etc, etc, right? I carry this shoved down there and I can pull this out. Somebody stops me, in the worst case, if a police officer is like, "Oh, that's a bit big, what are you carrying that around with you?" Well, I can tell them, and I have a letter, whatever. But no one's gonna feel offended. Even the police aren't gonna feel offended if they ask you, "What is that?" It's not stabby stabby, it's not pokey pokey. It's not going to do any harm to anybody else. It's simply there. It's a sponge holder. Literally what doctors do, say if this was a big sponge, they hold that and they wipe stuff and they do all that stuff. Now, you can use that for first aid, especially if you want to reach, or if you want, but again, if you want to retract something from anything, I use it as an everyday tool just to retract and to get stuff out. Again, you can carry that in your bag, or you can carry that in your jacket. It might be a bit big for you to carry your jacket, I know, but I carry it, so as an idea, I'm just showing you. You can put it in your bag as well, but I just wanted to show you all the stuff for the quick access kit. I have actually needed this for a quick access medical emergency a few times, mostly because to get the reason was I had plasters on and I couldn't get them off because my hand doesn't close and I had no mechanical energy. For me, even this one was a bit too small, and I just wanted to do sort of a more redneck brutal way of just get that damn plaster off me, right? So I just went zip, right? It was actually from there, and that was far easy for me to do. You, I'm sure, could make 110, find 110 uses for them. So I just wanted to show again the reason I purposely added them, and I know the reason was the video got a bit longer. That's fine. I wanted to show you options and give you options that you can have with you 24 hours a day, even when you're flying, even if you're going through maritime security or aviation security. All of this, that obviously I understand, but all of that will get you through aviation security 99% of the time. Someone might take, because it's a pair of scissors, someone might take extreme exemption to that, but it's highly unlikely. If they do, it's just that individual person being special. Okay, so that is a quick access first aid kit, and I wanted to promote people to carry that because I see people. I've had to use a lot of these plasters. I was in the hotel about 7 months ago, and I needed the air conditioning wasn't working, and the engineer who came to fix, he actually got a small cut there, and he didn't have any first aid kit. He didn't even have a plaster with him, and I actually gave him one of these. I actually gave him like a £10 note just to say thank you for fixing it. And he said, "Well, I'd rather just take the £10 note." I said, "Listen, dude, just bandage yourself up and take the tip as well." So he laughed and he took both. But it's about helping people, making people smile, right? A child might hurt themselves on the train or something, break one of these out. Their mother might not have one with them, or the parent might not have them with them. Break this out, help here, put this on the child, draw a smiley face on it with a Sharpie, and you've got a child's bandage now. So there you go. That child's going to be pretty happy if you draw a Sharpie on it. They'll stop crying. But yeah, so quick access first aid kit, have it with you, and stay safe. So thank you very much for watching almost a 45-minute video, which somebody could have done this in like 2 minutes. I wanted to talk. You don't have to watch it all, or you probably have if you... Anyway, thank you for watching. And I do these videos just to improve my voice and stuff. You can't tell, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, you can talk." Trust me, there are times when I can't talk, and I had that problem even with the paramedics when I was having my heart attack. I was talking in bursts. I talk for like half a minute and then I stop talking for like a minute and a half, and I couldn't communicate properly. And one of the paramedics, she was just rude. She was, well, you were talking half a minute ago. Why can't you talk now? And she was literally just bawling at me. And the more she bawled at me, the more she just went on and on and on and on, the less I could talk. And that's why I do these videos. It's just an exercise in talking and sharing stuff that I like, stuff. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay safe. Tomorrow in the UK is the London Marathon. Might need a first aid kit. Carry one with you if you're running. You'll definitely, hopefully, need some plasters and some Vaseline. Some gauze might be helpful. I don't know. Some gauze might be helpful. Some plasters might be helpful. A tissue might be helpful. Some Vaseline might be helpful. You know, shove that down your trouser, your shorts pocket. The runner next to you might need that. You know, a hand wipe might be useful on the run of the marathon. I won't mention a certain athlete. If you're British and you've seen the marathon, you probably know what I'm referring to. So, you know, London Marathon tomorrow, one of the most famous marathons. Then I was watching a video yesterday, some Americans coming over for the London Marathon. First aid kit might be helpful. You could shove probably 2 of these, one of these, one of that, a tissue. Not really having a small tin of Vaseline in your shorts pocket, not going to slow you down at all. So it might help the person next to you. Remember, it's about making friends and helping the person next to you. A bandage might become useful. You might need to bandage your foot and then carry on running. Might be helpful. So good luck to all those people taking part in the London Marathon tomorrow. I hope you do well. I hope you set a record time that you're chasing, an even better record time, and all that money that goes to charity, very well done. I know a lot of people are running for the cancer charities because I have bowel cancer, and there's a lot of people who are running for the Heart Foundation charities. I've just suffered a very bad heart attack, so one of the worst heart attacks that you can suffer. And when I suffered it, I actually wanted to go home. It triggered something, some PTSD thing in my head was triggered. I'm not going to talk about the PTSD and stuff, but it triggered something in my heart, in my head, that I really wanted to go home. And I had the doctors actually turned from surgeons to counsellors. They were like, you can't go home. Within 13 minutes of you going home, no, sorry, within 11 minutes of you going home, you will be dead. We cannot let you go home. We cannot let you go home. And it took them almost half an hour to convince me. All I could say to them is, I want to go home. Let me go home. Just give me the medicine. I'll go home. They wouldn't let me go home. It was just something that triggered in my head that I wasn't rational to listen to them. Anyway, they convinced me. They kept me calm. They gave me some medicine. I stayed in hospital and they saved my life. Thank you very, very much to all of them. I know your names. And if I were inclined to get tattoos, I'd probably put your names on somewhere on my arm. But I've written them down and I've framed them on my wall at home. And those Leatherman's Raptors are on order for them. But yeah, thank you very much for listening to almost an hour of me talking about just a first aid kit. But, you know, I wanted to share it with you. I am going to make more videos. There's a couple more videos I wanted to make. Pretty much based. I might even call it the A6 Popper series, because they are all aimed around the A6 Popper wallet. So I wanted to make them. Yeah, and I will probably make them later on today and upload them. So thank you very much for watching. Stay safe. If you're running the London Marathon tomorrow, the very, very best of luck. I hope you don't need a quick access first aid kit, but some suggestions. And go ahead and support those charities, everyone. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Thank you very much for watching, and be kind with the comments. Please don't give any negative comments. I just don't want that. This is just a family video. It's nothing professional. It's just me talking, right, and sharing. Stay safe. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the other videos. Thank you. Bye.